Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 3. Today we have 3 main objectives. First and foremost, we're going to be putting our Lego Modulars into our Lego room. Secondly, we're going to be talking about the mill system that we are utilizing in our Lego city. And lastly, we're going to be talking about a few of our recent purchases and new modulars that we're going to be building together. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. Welcome back, everyone. It's finally time to get all of our modulars out of the upstairs living area. I know my wife will be happy to have a little space back in our main living area up here. I don't have a set plan on where things are necessarily going to go, so we're just going to kind of get them in here and see what works best for us. So, in the words of Mr. Stark himself, drop your socks, grab your Crocs, we're about to get wet up in this ride. Yeah, I honestly don't know what I was going for there, but yeah, don't hold that against me. Please don't unsubscribe.
Siphon, this is hard.
I wanna be on a first-class trip to Arizona. I wanna be on a peddler's list in South Nevada with my friends. Going out late at night, moving on from sadder times. Go around to shine a light. Who would be my Adelaide? I would take a rendezvous just to waste my time with you. I can't take another day away from everything you do. I would take a week off just to be close so I don't have to choose. I can't take another day away from everything you do. Saturday on a getaway route, head out to Aspen. Far away from another day wasted on these taxes, I would say. I'm dealing with the pain that nothing ever changes. Wrestling the essence that I never will erase it. Everything is crazy, I don't wanna face it. I just wanna drive it till the road runs out. Not another day away.
All right, everyone, all sets are in, and I'm starting to love this layout. As I was moving the modulars in, I had just a few thoughts. First, we are going to run out of room very quickly. I mentioned before that we have a few modulars that are going to be joining the city very soon, and they are going to fill the rest of the room that we have over here. A lot of the white space is going to be gone pretty quickly. So, my first thought was, how are we going to expand? And I think the best way that we're going to be able to expand is by adding a 10-inch piece of melamine board along with some 2x4 legs in the back here, running behind the modulars that we have on this 30x75-inch table. This would give our city the tier look, and now my question is, if we do that on the back side of our larger table here in the middle, do we need to do it on the 30x55-inch table over here? And my primary reason is it going to look weird if this is just sitting flat on our regular table and then we have a tiered look over here? I'm really debating on what to do here, so please drop a comment down below if you think it's going to be possible. If not, it's something that we'll kind of roll with. My biggest concern is obviously we have the Daily Bugle over here, and I'm just worried that's going to obstruct the view of any modulars that we do put behind it for that tiered look. I'm not as worried about the train because the train can run underneath the melamine in the back, underneath the table legs. So now my only concern is if we do fit the train in, so this is kind of the second thing I was thinking about, is if we do fit the train in, I don't know if we do put that 10-inch piece of melamine in the back, is the train going to be able to run alongside the road? I know we can build the track into the road itself. My concern is that going to look good? And second of all, if you can kind of see here, I don't think the train is going to clear this turn over here. So when you're looking at, and we'll look at this in an upcoming video, is when you're looking at this, I don't think the train is going to have enough room to turn to go around the entire table. So we may end up having to move some of our Lego supplies and move those somewhere else in the city, possibly do a little bit of a reorganization and getting some drawers to put those in as well. So those are the couple things that I'm wrestling with. The last thing I wanted to talk about quick is that in the corner here, this is definitely going to be our forestry and wonderland area on our 25 by 40 inch table. So far, we do have the tree house, we have the Winnie the Pooh set, but I have something special in mind that is going to fill the rest of this area up over here. I'll tell you what that is in just a little bit, but overall, we have a lot of great ideas in our Lego city, and I'm excited to get started putting everything in here and just doing some more reorganization and really just trying to get ready to expand here in the near future. But let's talk a little bit more about the mill system that we're using for our modulars. All right, everyone, it is time to talk about the MILS system. And in case you're wondering what MILS, or M-I-L-S, stands for, it is Modular Integrated Landscaping System. Really, it's a fancy way of saying that it's a built-up base plate to help improve your Lego city. So we know what a basic base plate looks like. Obviously, it's going to come with our modulars or certain sets that you purchase. And then here is an example of just a basic MILS plate in itself. And so we have our basic base plate down below. We have our 2x2 brick. You can use 2x4 brick, really whatever type of brick that works best for you or whatever you have laying around. And then you're going to have your 1x2 Technic pieces. You can have 2 technicals, 1 technical, really preference for you, as well as your plate on top. Now, as cool as it looks, why would someone move from a basic base plate to a MILS plate system in their Lego city? And I have 3 primary reasons why. Number 1 is that it elevates the amount of detail that you can have in your Lego city. And really what it does is it elevates your modulars up so that you can build down if you need to or want to. Now, an example that is a little different, right? You know, if I'm looking into like a greenery area or kind of our wonderland area within our Lego city, you know, you can add things such as beaches, lakes, rivers, forests, or, you know, another thing is, like a walkway. So when you're looking at a MILS plate, right, like I said, you're building your base plate up so that you can build down into that base plate so that you can show more detail or make it tiered, essentially. So you can kind of see here what I did is I was able to create a little bit of a walkway by taking my base plate or the top of my plate down to the base plate and then building up in between my plate and my base plate. So definitely something that you can do. Obviously, don't judge me on this. This is something I threw together last minute, but wanted to give you a little bit of an example. Number 2 is it helps with sturdiness, and it really makes the base plate or the base of a modular solid. So you can see, obviously, you know, you guys know that if I'm trying to hold the modular, you know, within just a basic flimsy base plate, more than likely it's going to fall, or you're going to have certain things such as minifigures or lamp posts really fall off of your base plate. So number 3, it goes along with number 2, but it does make it easier to move sets around and make the changes in your Lego city. Since we are at an early stage of our Lego city, we are moving things around quite frequently. So as I'm moving things such as like the downtown diner, it does make it easier for me to transport and really just keep everything together. Like you can see, I can take this and, you know, move it around with one hand so that I can move it to a different destination. So again, I'm really glad that we started with the MILS plate system so that we can move things around much easier. And it's just a little bit more simple for us to make certain changes into our Lego city. So with that being said, there are a couple different ways that we can build a MILS plate in itself. And let's look into that. All right, everyone, so we just talked a little bit about what a basic MILS plate looks like. But what I want to talk about next is the different options that you have when building a MILS plate for your modulars. Your first option is that you can use your bricks, your plates, your Technic pieces to build a more traditional MILS plate that we just went through. Your second option is that you can use pieces that are called art plates. Now, I want to talk through the positives and the negatives for using the art plate, so stick with me here. Now, the main positives for using the art plates is that it's quick, it's easy to attach to your base plate, but you also have more Technic holes, as well as you are using a lot less pieces. So for a 32 by 32 inch traditional base plate, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4 16 by 16 art plates. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the negatives as well, as it's great that you're using less pieces. It's great that it's easier to attach and it has less assembly with it. But the downsides are that obviously black isn't the most appealing color. And secondly, the fact that you can't build down into your modular. Now, when we're talking about building down into our modular, we just did a quick little video, obviously, where we talked about our greenery area, our forestry area, where we are going to be adding a little bit of detail, adding paths, building down into our mills plate to add that certain level of detail that makes it look great. Now, for our modulars, we're not necessarily going to be doing that. This is really just a base. We want a solid foundation for our modulars to sit on so that we can transport them around, because obviously we're new. We're going to be moving things around quite frequently. So with that being said, there is one other downside that I wanted to share with you guys. I honestly don't find it that big of a deal, but I know some people do. And as you can kind of see in the back of the 123 Sesame Street mock, you can see the black studs kind of poking through here on the back side. And that is something else that you may run into, is not all modulars obviously have a tiled flooring inside or have the dark bluish gray tiles on the outside as well. Now for me, we're going to be personalizing all of our modulars. If we can see the black, obviously we'll be buying more dark bluish gray tiles to, you know, kind of finish that off, make it look a little bit more complete. So with that being said, you can kind of see here the two different types of mills plates that you can utilize, right? For the diner, we do have the more traditional base plate with our Technic pieces, our 2x2 bricks, as well as our plate, and then also our tiles on top. And then obviously over here you can see the art plates underneath, and then you have your tiles on top, and then leading to your modulars. All right, everyone, best part of the video, we get to look at some of our most recent purchases and really what's just coming up that we're going to be building together and putting into our Lego city. So our first purchase, kind of a boring one, but we have our Lego base plates. So that's where we're going to be finishing out our wooded area in our Lego city. That was definitely a much needed purchase to get started in that area. Our second purchase over here is that we have a bunch of pieces, and usually that is telling you that we're going to be building some sort of a mock. Now, if you're looking at the two central perks that I have, the Seinfeld set, you probably already know we are going to be starting a sitcom tower. Now, the reason that I started with the two central perks in Seinfeld is the fact that this two central perks, obviously these are going to be retiring at the end of the year, as well as the Seinfeld set. Now, I know I still need the Lego Friends Apartments. And so that is something that we are going to be looking at purchasing next to add on to our sitcom tower. But I wanted these three sets before they retire. And honestly, I'm a big Friends and Seinfeld fan. So this was a necessity for our Lego city. Now, thirdly, this is actually a most recent purchase as of just a couple days ago that I purchased on eBay. I do not have some of the older sets. As I mentioned, I started collecting again just a few months ago. So I love the Detective's Office. This is one that I absolutely needed. And as you can see, it actually came just on its original base plate. So what we're going to be doing, we just talked about the art plates and building up our city on top of our art plates for our mills plates. Now, with that being said, I need to transition this over to our mills plate, and we will go through that process together and really what that looks like. Now, lastly is the Behemoth. I am so excited about this set. You could probably see it in the back of my video, and that was very poor planning on my part. But to reveal, one of my most favorite purchases so far is the Disney Castle. I am so excited. I saw this go out of stock, and my buddy told me, he's like, hey, you got to get in and you got to purchase the set. So we went in, we purchased the Disney Castle. I'm excited to say that this is going to fill that blank spot on our 25 by 40 in our wooded area, and our entire wooded area will be centralized around the Disney Castle. So you guys, this was a great haul for me. I'm very excited to say that we have a lot to do and a lot to build. All right, everyone, we had a lot of fun today putting our Lego Modulars into our Lego City. We looked at some of the more traditional Mills plate versus using the art plates for building a different style of Mills plate. We also took a look at some of our most recent purchases, and man, am I excited to get started on the Disney Castle as well as the Sitcom Tower. I appreciate you guys all stopping by. The one thing I ask is that if you guys do comment below, let me know what you guys think we can do to rearrange the city, as well as liking and subscribing. And I'm excited to see you guys soon. Our next video is going to be a little bit more of a vlog. I'm traveling back to Wisconsin to see some family. And so we'll have a little bit more of a vlog. There will be some Lego mixed in there. So please stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon.